Welcome to the Unaffiliated Creatives Podcast, a show where independent artists can learn from other independent artists. My name is kaeveryday, and each week I will be speaking with some of the most creative minds in the indie music space, trying to figure out what they have learned while navigating through the music industry without the support of major record labels. This podcast is brought to you by the good people over at King Neppy Studios and powered by Red Weasel Media. Thanks for tuning in to the Unaffiliated Creators Podcast. I'm your host, kaeveryday. This is the indie artist safe place, so take off your shoes, get comfortable, and stay a while. Do us a favor and please rate the show. And if you have any feedback for us, please email us at unaffiliatedcreatives@gmail.com. The snippet you heard playing was a song titled The Biggest Stepper by indie artist Nema. Now that everybody has taken off their shoes and gotten comfortable, Nema, what you been up to?
What's going on, man? But as you can see, moving around right now, like between writing my own music, writing music for other artists. I got my own multimedia production company. I started about like four or 5 months ago, called Bang Media Outlet. I just started learning how to produce my own compositions, so I ain't got to keep buying beats from the great YouTube producers. I'm trying to be everything that I need to be for myself right now.
So before we get into it, I got to let the audience know. So this is the first person that I've ever interviewed that's actually walking while they're doing the interview. So if he sounds like he's running out of breath at some point, that's the reason why. But we're going to keep this thing, we're going to keep this thing going. So if you would, my first question was, can you just take a couple of minutes and explain exactly like your stage name? What does Nema stand for?
So Nema is actually not an acronym. It literally, where it came from was one day I talk to God a lot, especially when I'm by myself. So one day just came from me saying amen, and then I don't know what it was, but something in me was like, damn, I like the way amen sound backwards. And then that's just where it came from.
Let the church say amen, brother. I like that.
And then the other part is too, like in one of the songs I wrote, like one of the bars I got is my name ring bells in cathedrals when you say my name backwards. And like little stuff like that. I like the way I could play with it.
Well, I'm glad I asked that question because that's very interesting, and I didn't know if a lot of people knew that. So that's why I asked that question to a lot of artists, because I think it's very important. The name says a lot about a person. So I just wanted to ask you that question. So let me ask you this. The best way you can, try to explain Chicago to a person that's never been there before.
You know what? I'm glad you asked that, because the best way to explain Chicago to a person who ain't never been here before, I would say, you never really lost when you here. You always know where you at just based off who you around. So like right now, just based off this scenery, 9 times out of 10, you know you in a safe space and you ain't really got too much to worry about. But that's because the thing about Chicago is to me, because I've been to a few places, but Chicago is definitely, unfortunately, like I would say, is the most segregated city like in the United States. But that come with like pros and cons. So that's why I say you never really lost. Like when you hear, like I'm just keeping it 100. Like if you're around a whole bunch of black people, you know, you in a black neighborhood. You're around a whole bunch of white people, you know, you in a white neighborhood. If you're around a whole bunch of Hispanics, you know where you at. So you ain't never really lost. Like if you want to get away from where you at, all you got to do is go in one direction and keep going until you see the shade of color change. That's it.
I like that. You a funny dude, man. All right, so let me ask you this. Have you ever been to oblock?
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping this question didn't come up, but sometimes
I didn't want you. I mean, you don't have to go all the way into it, but I was just
No, I
curious.
know.
You know, I mean, like I said, I've never been to Chicago, and you know the stuff that get portrayed and the stuff that people put out there. So I was just curious. You being from there, have you ever been there? That's all.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you from here, you be a little bit of everywhere just because you from here. And it's like, you know, if you gotta say you work for Amazon or something like that, or you just got a job where you deliver stuff, just whatever the case may be, you end up in every neighborhood at some in some fashion or form. But it's like the whole idea that, like, you know, in certain neighborhoods you always ducking and dodging, and you know, it's a war zone and it's so dangerous, and your life is in danger and stuff like that. Like that's so taboo, because that's not the reality. Like I grew up in the hundreds. That's like, you know, like the south side of Chicago. Yeah, like I've been to oblock plenty of times. One of my homies stay there to this day. Go over there, go see him, and I ain't scared. And I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna die. Like, no, it don't work like that. Like the thing is it's just like, honestly, it's just like anywhere else. It's like if you in the mix and you doing stuff that got eyes on you, and it's people who shouldn't have eyes on you, then yeah, stuff gonna happen that probably shouldn't happen when you least expect it. It's like, but you could be in the best neighborhood, you could be in Naperville, and something bad will happen to you just because you at the wrong place, wrong time. Like, but that's why this is the third biggest city in the United States, and a lot of people live here. It ain't like everybody scared and they like, I need a gun because if I ain't got a gun, something bad gonna happen to me. Or if I'm by oblock, well, better have my finger on the check. It's not like that. Like Chicago is a beautiful city. Even if you in some of the bad neighborhoods, you still run across some of the best people.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you this question again since you're from that area. Do you know somebody personally that's either not a Chicago Bulls fan or not a fan of Michael Jordan?
Oh, what? Yeah. There's plenty of people who like not Bulls fans or not. I put it to you this way. Chicago just one big melting pot, honestly. That's why, like, if you go to like different neighborhoods and stuff, you might go somewhere where it's like a whole bunch of people from LA, a whole bunch of people from Mexico, a whole bunch of people from everywhere. It's like, oh yeah, just because you here, all of the diehard fans is like football fans. Like, so you're gonna find a lot of people who like go hard for the Bears. But like the Bulls, it's like if they doing well, got a whole bunch of bandwagons. They not doing well, nah.
I mean, I just figured, you know, with the MJ's greatness and the fact that he brought all them championships, I just figured that, you know, there would be nothing but love and support for the Bulls and Michael Jordan in that area. But
yeah, people respect Mike because everybody got his shoes on. That's the biggest thing. So it's like, ain't nobody finna say nothing bad about him if they wearing the man jerseys and got his shoes on.
all right, so let me ask you this. So you have a few celebrity crushes, and I'm probably going to screw some of these names up, and I apologize. So you got Billie Eilish, Cola Ray, and Selma Hayek, just to name a few. So with that being said, if you could only go on a date with one of your celebrity crushes, which one would you choose and explain why?
That's a good one. Only one. Damn, you got me. You know what? It'd have to be Coy. It'd have to be Coy. 2 reasons. Because I know if I got a chance to do a song with her, it'd be raw. And then 2, I don't know. I like the fact that she like embrace who she is. She ain't one of those like female artists that feel like she gotta go get a BBL and get all this work done. Like, she actually love herself for real. And she been like that since she came out. It ain't like her manager or somebody told her to be that way. Like, she just like that. And she not an ugly girl or nothing like that. And she's okay, like in her own skin. And like, that's for every female watching this, like, don't believe the hype. Like, every dude, like, that's way more attractive to us than all of the stuff you can go pay for, because you can't pay for, loving yourself. I don't care how much therapy you go through, none of that. Like, therapy don't even solve all your problems. It just help you realize it. But like, that's why I picked Chloe. Like, that girl really loved herself. She believed in herself.
Yeah, I like you dropping them gems on them. I like that. Let me ask you this. So you posted something on social media several weeks ago, and it was just a caption that said, "I'll be back." So I got to ask you, what did you mean by that?
What I meant by that was I don't know. I had just really like evaluated myself. This was before I created the multimedia production company I got now. It was before I wrote 2 songs that I got complete right now that I'm still working on. I just reevaluated myself, and I was like, who do I actually want to be when I get into this? Because I know it's just like, I relate everything to basketball, because basketball was me from 6 years old all the way to 25, 26. So the thing is like, I know that it's just like basketball. Like, the first thing you start doing when you step on the court, that's what people gonna expect of you, like, every single time. So if you transfer to a school and you show that you can shoot the ball, coach is gonna expect you to shoot. If you show that you're a lockdown defender, gonna expect you to defend. If you show that you're a facilitator, coach is gonna expect you to facilitate. Not to like music the same way in that regard, where it's like, if you come on and you start with all those little like weird gimmicks and, like you a mumble rapper, or like you come on the scene and like you a comedian and people ain't really taking you serious, or I just knew the way I portrayed myself from the beginning was the way I knew I was going to want to portray myself in the end. So I said, before I actually like submit myself in any way, shape, or form, let me like truly reevaluate myself and like really see, who do I want to be from start to finish. And then once I figured that out, that was when I decided like, okay, now I start like making myself visible again.
Yeah, I like. So I'm gonna have you, having to answer a couple of questions today. I hope these ain't tough for you, but I'm glad you kind of just brought up the basketball thing, because that's where I was about to segue to. So you shared with me that basketball was your first passion. But with that being said, if you had to choose between basketball or music for the rest of your life, you could only do one, which one would you choose, and explain why?
And that really is a tough question, because it's like, all things being perfect, if I had every resource and all the time in the world to do both, I'm not gonna lie, choosing basketball. But the reason why like present day is music is because I always knew I had a love for music. I didn't know it was as deep as it was until like I realized like that was what was with me every day. I was in the gym working out. Every day I'm not in the gym. Every day I'm watching film. Every day I'm doing anything. Like, music was always there, and I was always listening to instrumentals. But sometimes I got tired of listening to other people's words. I wanted to like think for myself and come up with my own lyrics to listen to and stuff like that. And then once I because I had played basketball. I was just going off, but no, you can go ahead and ask me again.
You didn't even know it had stopped, that you were just going. No, I was just saying, if you had to choose between basketball and music for the rest of your life, which one would you pick, and explain why?
Yeah, it would, like, all things being perfect, like, I got all the resources I need, all the time in the world to do either one. I'm not gonna lie, it would definitely be basketball. But present day, with reality as what it is today, to have to be music, mainly because with all the creative ideas that I got and where I want to express them, I know I could do that best through music. And then once I reach certain milestones in the game of basketball, because you can't do it forever. Like, you can't play basketball forever. No sport, for that matter. Anything that requires your body to go through a lot, you can't do that forever. So I know it's way more longevity, using my mind than it is using my body. And like one of my coaches had told me this a while ago. And it had stuck with me because he was telling me, like, he was like, you more than an athlete. He was like, you athletically intelligent. He's like, so you ain't got to just rely on basketball all your life like other people do. He was like, your mind way stronger than everything else. And I held on to that. And that's why I like it to be music.
All right. So if you stated that several music artists have influenced you over the years, with that being said, which artist do you feel has influenced you the most?
Easily, you know what? The most, that'd have to be a tie between Cole and Kenny. J. Cole and Kendrick. Have to be a tie. Because like I remember in high school, I'm listening to the warm up, the come up. I'm listening to Section 80. And this is like 2009, 2010, 2011. So like people wasn't really onto Cole and Kenny at that time. And they, hit me listening to this stuff in the gym, blasting it, and they like, this weak. Like turn this off. Turn on some Wayne, turn on some T.I. Play this, play that. So, but yeah, them two, definitely like the biggest influences. Like if it's anything that I draw a lot of influence from, it's both of them dudes. Like right now, like I was saying earlier, it's one song in particular that I'm working on. Got a lot of influence from Kendrick. And when I actually drop the song, the visual, everything, I know for a fact, like that's going to be my segue into the music industry. Like I know for a fact, like that's going to put my foot in the door because it's not going to be nothing anybody ever heard before. Because, like I remember T-Pain was on his podcast and he was saying how everybody making the same music. And I'm glad he said that it ain't going to be nothing nobody ever heard before. I can't wait until I'm done with it. Because I know once I'm done with it, that's definitely going to be my segue in. And I got to give a shout out to Joyner Lucas too, because I like his model. I like his business model. Like the way he put music out. He create music that means something. And then he put it out. And that's exactly what I'm doing with this. Visually, lyrically, everything. Like it means something. And it's gonna resonate with everybody.
All right. So I was going to ask you, not that you're trying to be like anybody else, but I was going to ask you, who do you think you sound like? But you kind of just explained it that, when you drop the song, that it's kind of going to be something that don't even sound like, what's out. So I guess I would say that I'm guessing the answer going to be that you trying to sound like yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't trying to sound like nobody else. I ain't trying to use no presets that nobody else use. I'm not trying to do none of that. Like, because my thing is the minute you hear Jay-Z, you know it's Jay-Z. The minute you hear Wayne, you know it's Wayne. The minute you hear most artists, you know it's them. And then for all the other guys, like, I know, like, right now, it's a whole bunch of Lil Uzi Verts out there. A whole bunch of gang of, but it's only one Uzi. And that's the thing, is some of these dudes make real good music, make great music. It's a lot of XXX clones. But these dudes make great music. But it don't get listened to because it was already done.
Hey, I like that. So I had to ask you this question before you get out of here. I hate to put you on the hot seat, but if you can, try to give me your top 5 Chicago rappers, dead or alive, and you can put them in any order.
Top 5 Chicago rappers. Okay. Ye got to go number 1. They're going to get mad at me for this one, but I don't care. Ye number 1. Common got to be number 2. I'm going to go Keith at number 3. Dirk got to go number 4. And number 5, just because of the way he changed hip-hop, well, not hip-hop, but the way he changed the Chicago music scene, King Louis. Do not get enough respect.
Okay. So we had some of the same answers. I'm going to give you my 5, but I'm a little older, so that's probably why my list's a little different. So I had Kanye, I had Common, I had Twista because Twista really changed the game with that fast rapping. So I put Twista up there. I put Chance the Rapper, and the reason why I put him up there because how he was one of the first ones that was independent, but really blew up almost like he was a major artist, you know. So I put him up there, and I'm gonna put Polo G. I normally wouldn't have put him up there because I don't think he been in the game that long. But the reason why I'm saying Polo G because that's my son's favorite rapper. He 13, so I just want to give my son a quick shout out. So I'm gonna say Polo G for the fifth spot.
I feel you. I ain't mad at it.
So now I gotta ask you now, who do you think is the GOAT when it comes to Chicago rappers? Who do you think is the best?
All around?
Yeah, the best of all times. Who the GOAT?
I say Kanye then, something wrong with you. It gotta be Ye. If it ain't Ye, I don't know who it is from, boy. Writing, producing, to everything else. Like, man, look, Ye got classics on classics. Like, he can do a verses with anybody. Yeah, it gotta be Ye.
Yeah, I can't. I don't think I can disagree with you on that one. I mean, lyrically, I think Common nice too, but I think just the overall body of work, I think Kanye might got him.
Kanye got it, man.
All right. So take a few minutes and talk to us about your role as the lead production manager over at Bang Media Outlet.
Oh, cool. So yeah. So what that is, my role with that, me and my cousin, we had created that a few months ago. And right now we do not call ourselves CEOs. We don't call ourselves CFOs or none of that stuff. It sound cool, but no, before you become any of that, you have to be the lead in damn near everything that you're doing. So like we take the lead on all strategic marketing. We take the lead on all editing, take the lead on all videography work, all directing, everything, client outreach, you name it, we have to do it because our team isn't that big. It's me, my cousin, and we got two other employees that work for us right now. But yeah, so Bang Media Outlet is exactly what it sounds like. All media needs. I don't care if it's a wedding photo shoot, a baby photo shoot, a music video, a visualizer, anything. We shoot events for a lot of DJs around the city. Because the DJs don't get enough love. Most people go out to the club and they having a great time and don't even realize like a bad DJ will ruin your night. You know, a good DJ know how to like control the room just by knowing what songs to mash up, stuff like that. So we show the DJs a lot of love. Go out, throw the camera on them, throw some lights on them. We go shoot events for some of the biggest hosts out here in the city. Wherever our camera take us, that's where we going, and we don't care what it is. Anybody won't film, won't shot. We literally do it all.
Like that. Like a man with many talents. So let me ask you this. So where do you see your music career in the next 5 years?
Great question. In the next 5 years, where do I see my music career? What's this, 2023? 2024, I see like my artist page growing to maybe 2,000 to 3,000 followers, like on Spotify. Probably like at the end of 2024, I'll probably have like maybe 5,000 to 10,000 streams. 2025, that's when I'll probably have like a little more notoriety between like meeting people through doing media and putting out music, doing features with other artists. I'll probably be around, I'll probably make a list. I wouldn't be like an A-list, B-list celebrity, but somewhere around like, you know, D or E. Then by 2026, that's when I'll actually be around like C-list level. But like, you know, I'll be getting invited to go, you know, this spot, that spot, show up 15, 20 minutes. I'll be doing my own shows, booking my own shows. Bang Media Outlet will be shooting all of my content. I'll be able to scale that to a level where I have somebody else shooting videos and I can focus more so on the music. 2027, that's going to be scaled even to a larger degree, to the point where now maybe I'm getting invited to the BET Awards, maybe something with Shade Room or this or that. By 2029, 2028, 2030, that's when it'll be about B-list, A-list level. That's when, people will be waiting on me to drop something. Like, when you putting this out, I'll probably have 2 projects out that people like actively listening to still. Probably done did 2 or 3 tours by that time. That's where I see myself in the next 5 years. I know it's not going to happen all overnight, but if it do happen overnight, I'm not mad at that either, though.
And that was an excellent answer, and I just got to let you know. So I've asked artists that question before, and most people kind of just give a high-level answer, but you're the first artist that actually broke it down and actually gave real numbers. Like, you was putting out figures like, I say about this many streams or this many streams, which is cool. You really took time to really break it down, man. That's what's up. So the premise of this podcast is independent artists learning from other independent artists. So I couldn't let you get out of here without asking you this question. So what mistakes, if any, have you made so far in your music career that you think other people could learn from?
Man, plenty. One, when you go record a song, for any artist that make music, when you know you wrote a song and you like it and you're about to go record it, you always need a performance track. Do not go and... My bad. Those the out of towners who rent cars and they be driving through the city real fast and they ain't from here. That's why you hit it. But when you go record a song, you need a performance track. You need a clean version for the radio. You need a explicit version. But yeah, real big on the performance track. Like, do not go do shows and then you rapping over your own lyrics. Like, people in the industry hate that because it sounds bad and it make it look like you don't know your own words. And if you get winded or something like that, it make it look like you need your lyrics behind you because you're not conditioned enough or you probably don't know your own music. So make sure you got a performance track. It's cool to have, your hook on there, but when you go perform, make sure you tell whatever sound engineer, like, oh, kill my vocals right here because this is my performance track. What else? Make sure that at the end of all of your sessions that you ask for the session file. Like, don't just have them send you an MP3 file. Like, get the WAV file and get the entire session file. So that way, if you go back and you listen to it and say you in LA and now say you got to fly to New York and you want to change something, but you can't because you ain't got the session file. So now you got to go all the way back to LA to the same engineer you was just with in order to make a change. You ain't got to do that. Every time you go record a song, ask for the session file. So that way, wherever you at, all you got to do is upload that session file wherever you at. And now you can change whatever you need to change. So that way it sounds the way you want it to sound. And the other thing is, do not be afraid to layer your vocals. If you got a nice hook, have a high vocal, your main vocal, a low vocal, and then stack those two. Like, that is what make music sound great. Like, that is what made Michael Jackson music sound amazing. That man would be in the studio for 17, 18 hours layering one part of a song. And you don't even recognize it. But, the reason why, your ears pick up on stuff is because so much work is done behind the scenes that you don't see. Like, if you're going to do this, you real life got to put the work in. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, the artist, if you sign to a label, you got a team, whatever. The artist got to work harder than everybody.
Hey, dropping knowledge. I like that. Take the time to tell the audience anything that you want them to know that we haven't talked about already for whatever reason.
I don't plan on separating the stuff that I've already started doing in my life from this. I know a lot of people when they get into, when they transition into something else, they try to move away from who they once was. A lot of my music videos, you probably gonna see me hooping in my music videos. There's so many basketball references, everything that I do in my everyday life. I'm a dad. I don't plan on not showing that. You're gonna see that. I'm real big on family. So I gotta project I'm working on now, where the whole video just gonna be me chilling with my family. Like I plan on like incorporating me into all of my art because that is what helped me create it. So I'm like, why? I'm not real big on, going to go get a Maserati and then being parked up by this place and shooting a video with some $500 shoes on. Like I enjoy being authentic and I enjoy people liking me in the same way I love myself. It was like that's what I plan on. I just plan on being true to myself and staying authentic no matter where it goes, whether I get one person listening to my song or hell, 1 billion.
All right. Take a few minutes and tell the audience where they can find you online.
Right now, everything, all of the music that I got up right now, everything is on SoundCloud. And all you go right to Sound, or better yet, you can go right to Instagram. Name is _NEMA music. The SoundCloud link right there. I prefer to put everything on SoundCloud right now. And push that through Repost Exchange and other web platforms to get other ears on it, just to gauge. And once I get metrics from that, and once I'm able to analyze that data, I'm gonna use that, put stuff on Spotify, Apple Music, and stuff like that. Like I do things strategically and for a reason, not just because my whole point is if don't nobody know you, you could drop your music on Apple, Spotify, you could drop your stuff everywhere. Ain't nobody gonna listen to it still. So like, you can find all my music on Spotify. Feel free to go follow me on Instagram, and I follow back. I ain't one of them dudes who feel like he too famous, so you follow me. Now I'm gonna look at you and be like, oh, a new follow. No, I follow because you never know who you interacting with. You follow me, I follow you back. Then what do you know? You blow up or something. I'm like, damn, somebody I should have did business with. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like that's how I move, man. Like I'm not above nobody. Ain't nobody above me. Everybody in the middle at some point. And, yeah, I hope if you go listen to some music, I prefer, and I do this for a reason. No nice comments. I hate this decent. I like this good. Like, no, it might sound weird, but in this generation, there is so much fake, like positivity, and it bothers me to my core. Like, if you go listen to my music, it's cool if you just like it. If you ain't got no constructive criticism, I don't want it. All you got to do is like it. That means you like it. I prefer constructive criticism because it gives me something to work on. Because the only way to be successful is to work. So give me something to work on.
I want you to be one of the hottest artists out, man. So I'm going to go and I'm going to leave some comments on your stuff. And I'm going to be like, yo, your stuff suck, man. So,
hey, no, look.
Work twice as hard.
Yeah, look, because that's the best way to get engagement. To me, if people see some negativity, I don't know why. They run to it like, ooh, let me add on too. I don't mind that because it don't hurt my feelings. It's like, now I know I got ears on it though. That's the thing. Like people love giving you constructive criticism. Hell, give it to me.
Like that. I like dropping knowledge, dropping them gems on us. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you taking time to come on the podcast. I'm going to be listening to what you got going on in the near future, man. Keep hooping. Keep walking around Chicago and stay safe.
I got you, bro. I appreciate you, man. And then one of these times, bro, when I'm out there in that way in the DMV area, gotta link up, bro. All
right, we'll do that.
All right, man. Hey, you be safe, bro. Have a good day, man.
All right, you do the same.